Well, he
Yeah.
shows up like an hour late. And we're just like sitting there waiting, and he's like not answering his phone. And then he like would text us. He's like, "I'm 10 minutes away." Another
30 minutes later.
Another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And literally an hour later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh. That's some Jack Binkert shit right there.
Is that? Are you like that?
No, I would say that I'm like if I'm late, it's like 30 minutes late,
Yeah.
and I usually am giving you a heads up. And I'll be like, "Hey, dude, I'm like running late because I'm at
Hey,
work."
dude,
or
I
whatever.
forgot my laptop.
Oh yes, there's that too. But was I late? I was.
You weren't late.
Yeah,
You
I was
weren't.
like
you
4:30.
just- I
that
wasn't
is-
expecting you to come
Yeah.
at any time.
I just said like what I actually no. What you said was bring your laptop in a text, and I said what for? Question mark.
You did?
Yes. Or I said okay, and then I said what for? But I said what for, and you responded like what you responded like I said what time for. But I was actually just doing like lazy crap. Like just
So why
putting
didn't you
a full-
correct me? Why?
'Cause
That's
I
a
was-
Southern thing, by the way. I feel like I fuck up constantly, and in New York, people tell you like you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Here, they're too polite to tell you, and so you just continue doing the wrong fucking thing.
Well, for one, I didn't think it was a big enough thing to like actually care or have a conversation. I was like, you know what? I'll just bring it, and
Yeah.
that'll be that. But you responded like, "What for?" Like, and you're like, "Yeah, that's a good time. That's fine." And I was like, "All right, that's what time I'll get there anyway." So, I thought I was gonna get there at that time, anyways, and then you solidified it by just saying, "Yeah, that's fine." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll either show up then or later," which I knew that later would have been okay with you, but.
You're good.
Yeah, I didn't mean it. You're right. That is a Southern thing of just not saying anything.
I find the funniest thing is like people here will like not they'll doze off while they're driving and the light. Oh, okay. I will fucking be texting at a red light and it changes to green and no one will honk. Like that would never fly in New York. They're just like, I guess he doesn't need to go anywhere.
Dude,
So-
let me tell you this. First off, I don't do that. I don't like to honk. Well, for one, I didn't have a horn in my truck for a long time. So like I drove that truck for, about 8 years and it didn't have a horn.
Yeah.
So like I just got used to not honking at people for a while.
You would see fucking 7-Eleven slushies thrown at you or some shit.
In New York, if the horn didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, like, I always, but now, like, if I'm behind somebody and, my horn works now with my car, but I just give them a second. Just give them a second. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's
but
just-
sometimes like
if it's like 10 seconds, I'm like, okay, they get it by this point,
no,
So-
sometimes it's like it'll go back to fucking red.
Oh, no. That wouldn't, that wouldn't fly with me. Like, if I'm sitting there and it's like, actually, if it's like 5 seconds tops, I'm like, okay, that's something's up.
If
Like,
I don't
looking at the
make the
phone too
light,
much.
if I don't, if I go through 30 seconds and it's my fault. If we don't make it to the next red light, green light, then
green, the red light. Yeah.
by the time if we don't make it by the time the light changed, it's your fault.
Yeah.
That's the etiquette on it.
That's your
Fool me once, shame on me
Yeah.
scenario.
Fool me twice.
Yes.
You won't fool me again.
God, I miss that guy.
We were talking a lot about George Bush earlier. Well, we were talking about good old 9/11
Good
or
old-
terrible, horrible, absolutely apparent 9/11.
Yeah. We could get into this, but I feel like that's
I know we have some points on this board right here
That
that's like
we'll
we're going to
wanna
talk
cover?
about. Yeah.
I feel like we could get into 9/11 when we start talking about Mike Pence couch surf. Let's start with Mike Pence couch surfing.
I love it. I love that well, for one, you know what they said on the news is that he hadn't owned a house in years, like 10
So yeah,
years.
you got to fill me in on this story because I'll fill you in on the next story. You fill me in on this one. Tell me
Let
what
me-
happened with Mike Pence.
So, this morning, my YouTube algorithm, just gives me all the shit that I want to see.
Is YouTube your news main news source?
No, not like real news, but like when I, look at YouTube videos and I try to like listen to like different songs. That's what I usually YouTube for mainly, is like just loading up full albums of like
cool.
different bands and stuff. But every now and then, I fall in that hole that YouTube has in the middle of the night.
I'm daily in that hole.
Yeah.
I love YouTube.
Dude, it's nighttime for me, man. If I'm like, if I'm at the house and Leah's watching a movie or something like that, and like I'm just not into it, I'll just like get on my phone and like.
Dude, my
a
niece
regular
and
millennial,
nephew
but
don't play with toys. They watch videos on YouTube of people playing.
yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Dude. So like my Leah's dad, he likes to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and it's so funny because like, we'll talk about something, and he's like, always like, oh,
Don't
dude,
forget the Mike Pence thing. But
I know.
Yeah.
We I got it right here. Mike Pence, former vice president of the United
But yeah,
States.
Leah's dad.
He so this is gonna come from People Magazine. I don't want to read People Magazine. I want something like a little more. You know what? Never mind. We'll just read People Magazine.
Yeah, that's
But
credible enough.
sure. Mike Pence staying with family and will look for a new home after returning to Indiana. Sources. I'm gonna read this in a second, but
Leah's dad.
Leah's dad we'll be talking about something, and man, I love that man. He's a cool guy. And
Is there a butt about to hit?
no.
I love that man, but
No. I love the man,
and
that's what I'll go with. He is big on two conspiracy theories, or not. I don't know if you want to categorize. I guess they are conspiracy theories, but
yeah,
they're not, dangerous in any way. Bigfoot and UFOs.
okay.
And
okay.
the UFOs, I can it's like kind of cool.
I'm
The Bigfoot one is like, that one's, that's an old school. That's old school.
Didn't like the guy admit that he was Bigfoot in the video? There was like one guy,
Like the famous one?
the famous
Like the
video.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Some guy claims like, I don't know. I don't remember. We'll look into this
Yeah.
after.
Well, I'm just saying that like he when we're talking sometimes, and like it'll happen like in 10 minutes of us conversating.
What does he believe in Bigfoot though? Like
thinks
that
it's
he
out there.
exists, but does he believe that people are hiding the truth?
I don't.
Does he believe the government knows, or
No. I don't think it's that. Like, I think it's just like he really thinks that there's Bigfoots out there, and that they're really intelligent. Like they're so intelligent they've been able to hide
so
for.
there's multiple Bigfoots? It's a species.
I don't know enough, but I remember on like Animal Planet and stuff, they had the fake ones. I remember on Animal Planet they would talk about different Bigfoots in different parts of the states, because that's like I guess a part of Bigfoot conspiracy theory. I don't know if that's what categorizes it as. We'll just say theory, the Bigfoot theory. But there was like in Alabama they had the Alabama booger, was what they called it, and it's a Bigfoot. And in Florida they call it the Florida skunk ape.
Or the Sasquatch.
Yeah, Sasquatch, Yeti, all that
Oh,
stuff.
Yeti,
So
yeah,
yeah.
Yeti.
I think those are like either in Asia or Russia or something like that. But for Dan, I think that he just is I think he just calls it Bigfoot. I don't think he knows it or thinks about species. Honestly,
Does he hunt?
like deer and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
has
does.
he seen things?
No, I don't think he has. I don't know.
It's the videos.
It's videos. It's the YouTube hole. That's what I was kind of getting around to. Is like he wants to show me all the YouTube videos on it. And
you could.
stuff,
That's the thing. Like,
especially with
if
UFOs.
you've just seen videos, anything could be altered.
Yeah.
Like if he said he saw it, I'd be more inclined to think he was probably drunk or crazy. But
to me, it's like, man, it's so hard to like discredit someone's like personal account because like somebody says like,
I don't know, man. My sister calls me at 3 a.m. and she's like, Micah, there's a ghost. At 3 a.m,
that goes, it's out the window. Then
I'm like, there is,
there's no such thing. Go to sleep.
or at least it's not a credible threat.
Yeah, it's credible more at like 10 a.m. or
Yeah.
something like that. It's all the way to 6.
But the fact
Yeah.
that it's not a credible threat
Or
and the fact
10,
that she's
10.
okay proves everything that needs to be proven is that even if there was a ghost, you're fine, bitch. Go back to sleep.
Yeah, like yeah, that's so true. Like the ghost is the least thing to worry about because it's like you can't see it, like it can't harm you or touch you. I mean, theoretically, like how many people has ever been harmed by a ghost? Well, I guess there are people that come out and say that, but like I'm just saying, like it's an invisible thing. It's probably not going to do much damage. However, a Bigfoot. If it's a big,
yeah.
just like based on if you take a picture of a ghost and a picture of a Bigfoot and there's nothing to represent what a ghost is, and a Bigfoot is a giant 10-foot ape-like creature, then I would be more afraid of that.
Where do Bigfoots live?
I
All
don't
over.
know. I guess all over the U.S., but I don't know, man. I think that it's just like it's just a bunch of different theories and people like fall into different rabbit holes, but. I don't know. I think Dan just thinks of it as like a Bigfoot that lives all over the U.S. And, I don't know enough about it. But I think it's a cool thing. And I think, like, hey, I don't know anything about it to, like, really say it's right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, he enjoys it. And I think it's, kind of, fun in a way. But I'm saying with the YouTubes, like, the rabbit hole you can go down, there's plenty of other stuff. It's not exclusive to just one type of person. It's everybody that's on YouTube. There's like an algorithm, there's a hole that they have dug for you to jump through or jump down in.
He's gonna respond to this video, so they throw it.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yo, can you change it to time instead of measures?
Totally.
And while you do that, I'll scratch my balls because you're not looking.
Oh.
And,
Well, I
or adjust
know what's
them.
going on, and I'm imagining it now.
Yeah. Your imagination is not big enough to hold.
Get the. All right. So.
Tell me about Mike Pence.
Oh yeah. Mike Pence. Let me see. Oh, where I heard. That's what I was saying. The YouTube algorithm today told me that Mike Pence.
And that's how we got
from
here.
that was. It was from Stephen Colbert. I don't know why it's outdated late show talk show hosts and just like
I like Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah,
I like all of them because I think it's a cool job to have. It's like
definitely.
really entertain not only just any crowd but like you are limited to some things you can say crowd, and it's like kids and old people and everyone in between, and it's like it's hard to be clean. They're like almost clean funny. It's like that's hard to me in general. Maybe not Jimmy Kimmel. He's pretty.
I think
crass.
that Jimmy Kimmel is the only one that actually makes me laugh. The other ones, I think they're good at like propaganda. Like they're really good at like you should believe this, and this is why. But like Jimmy Kimmel to me is the last comedian. Like I'm listening to it and I'm laughing. Colbert was funny, I think, before he became.
His Colbert Report was. I remember when I was in high school and like I would come home and we first got satellite TV and we could watch Comedy Central, and like it'd be Jon Stewart, and then right after that was Colbert, and like I did not think Jon Stewart was funny in high school. And
Yeah,
I don't
looking
know.
back now.
I'm like, oh, he's
I'm
great.
the exact same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, like Colbert was funnier because I think he did a lot more, a little bit
Goofy.
easier, goofier jokes for people to understand. And like he was running satire where it was like, there was a little more room to poke fun at, the conservative right wing, whereas Jon Stewart was like commentating and like saying how it's ridiculous, and like the jokes just went over my head.
Yeah.
Or like Stephen Colbert was like
Being a character.
making fun of conservatives, and like I was kind of conservative too, so it was like I think it resonated in a way that I thought it was funny because I didn't know it was satire, or either like it resonated because like I was like, oh yeah, I get that humor because I understand what it is to be a conservative.
That's what they say about the movie Fight Club. Like apparently it's making fun of people.
Oh, like
who,
toxic masculinity, or that's so interesting because like I got into that shit because
I was such a big fan of that movie for that reason too.
Yeah.
I was like, this is awesome.
I know, like a bunch of dudes fighting, they blow up, and like it's kind of fucked up, but somehow still manly, cool.
I'll bet you.
Dude, no.
I will bet you
It's not about that.
10% of Antifa is influenced by that movie.
Fight Club. Probably so. Well, same with the
With the
Proud
white
Boy people,
the
yeah.
white nationalists.
But like that's really crazy, man. Like just philosophy doing a huge shift for me, like from younger days all the way to high school to college to now, and like how I viewed that movie and that book in particular. I listened to the audiobook not long ago, and like it's obviously like not
Making fun of it.
Yeah, well, it's not making fun of it. It's just like bringing to light like the dangers of like hyper tough guy shit. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's not trying to glorify that at all. It's shitting on it basically, or just. I
mean, Brad Pitt looks so fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. It's like, where does it stop? Where does the hyper, super masculinity end? It's like what defines like masculine or alpha, if you will. So like, I actually got into a discussion, and we're going way off topic from Mike Pence, but like, I was like, what makes an alpha? Like what makes a beta? What's alpha? What's beta? Because like to me, it's like, there's some like tough guys that like I see is like, okay, I get it. You're tough, like, you're strong, or like, you can fucking take a punch or whatever. Like I don't know, like, but it wouldn't be that way. You wouldn't be an alpha in every situation that you're.
Of course,
especially
now, like when you could communicate with people on the phone. You could be an alpha,
yeah,
in a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. No, or like, say, for instance, like you're playing chess or something like that. Is the alpha the best chess player? I mean, it's just like, yeah. And like, what about the president? The president is the leader of the free world, the number one human being in our country's eyes, not in my eyes. But I'm saying, like, is that... He's not the toughest guy ever, but he is like the president. So is he the alpha over?
But he should also be answering to the people too. So it's
like
he should be the beta too.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. It's just like it doesn't exist. Like alpha beta, it's just a nuanced human being, and like it should just be thought of that way. Like when I see somebody talk about like, oh, that guy's an alpha or that guy's a beta. I'm thinking like it's a person, and like that dude or lady even, because like honestly that's what I'm saying is like if you're some guy like that thinks that you're an alpha, and I know there's a lot of guys out there that are trained fighters or athletes or however you want to categorize somebody as an alpha. There's a lot of guys that think that, oh, I'm an alpha, but there's women out there that could beat the absolute shit out of you.
Oh, okay. So
like, I'm thinking just on the physical scale, but even on like academia or like just in the mental capacity for somebody, like, I don't know what, that's what I'm saying is like, I have no idea what makes somebody, like, what is the absolute description of an alpha? Like, it just doesn't exist to me. And it just, it's just a very fickle thing and feeble, as far as like stating, oh, this is what an alpha is. Well, there's room to argue it. So to me, it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And if it's not absolutely true, it's not really true either.
Yeah. It's got to be replicable.
Yeah.
For
it just,
science.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is just like, I don't think that there's like a scientific definition of an alpha. And if there is, like, there are
certain people who are macho personalities and they want to be that alpha.
It's all
male.
social though. It's all like a social way of like describing somebody, like a 6 foot. Yeah, it's like 6'8", 280 pounds, super strong, could whoop everybody's ass. But
I like speaking.
That guy can get beat up too, because that guy could, run into a bomber.
No, but you see some guys who their wives are the alpha in the relationship. You're just like, oh, she wears the pants and that.
See, but I'm saying like, going to the point. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, like I get that. It's like the whole alpha male thing goes out the window. Then it's just alpha people.
Yeah.
If it's a girl that can be an alpha, then it's like, okay, well then just, I guess you could say alpha and beta, but even that, it's like somebody out there. It's like if the notion is somebody out there can beat you or better than you or whatever, then that means that there's no such thing as an alpha or a beta. That's just my thing is like, It's just like it's an idea. It's a feeble idea, and like I just don't see how it's like.
mean-
I understand it for like social context of like just if I'm sitting with somebody and they're like, "Oh man, this dude, we played basketball the other day, and this dude, he was just fucking killing us, man.
Yeah.
He was just dunking, he was shooting threes, everything, man. He's just the alpha out there." Like I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get that," but it's like, you know, that dude can't be the alpha everywhere. Like that's what I'm
sure.
saying is like that's why I'm saying it's a feeble thing, and that's what I was bringing up about the 6'8", 280-pound whoop everybody's ass. Well, what if like somebody's got a bomb or a gun and they kill him? Are they the alpha then? Well, it doesn't seem like by what definition. What is the definition? That's all it is to me. And so I just think that like subscribing to that idea is like it's not necessarily true
Yeah.
for me.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you in any way. I don't know enough. I just know that, like, in a relationship, I need there to be the illusion that I am the alpha.
Yeah.
Even if it's not true, I need to. But then again, that's kind of I like black girls because black girls are like, oh, don't you mess with my man. Like, I am a huge pussy, so I kind of need a girl who can fight for me. But they also need to let me know that I'm the alpha, or let me feel like I'm the alpha. Ultimately.
Well, I think it's. Yeah. I just think it's a situational thing, and to me, if it's like a situational thing, then it's really not an absolute thing at all. Like, there's no absolute alpha or beta. That's just my stance on it.
I agree with
But,
that
yeah.
statement. Tell me about Mike Pence.
Okay, so Mike Pence does not own a house, and he's looking to buy a house. Oh, Stephen Colbert told me about it. That's what I was talking about, the YouTube hole. And I saw Stephen Colbert had a whole bit about it. I like Stephen Colbert still, by the way.
My sister,
I mean, I get it. He's partisan as hell. Like, he's, definitely a lefty.
my sister babysat for his producer, and she would get tickets to the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, oh, you told me this.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Pence and his family returned last week to his home state of Indiana, but the former vice president is still looking for a place to call his own. Pence, 61, told a small crowd of supporters welcoming him to the Columbus Municipal Airport on January 20th that he had promised his wife, former Second Lady Karen Pence, that they would be moving back to Indiana come this summer. Republican insiders in Indiana tell People, I don't know, I forgot this is People magazine, and it's all caps People. I was like, why are they all caps People?
told random people.
They tell People the Pences are currently staying with family. Yeah, that's how they differentiate, because they think that People as the magazine is grander and better than just human beings as the word people.
They don't want you to mistake it. That's
They don't want to mistake People for People.
I guess it could
magazine,
be italics.
motherfucker.
Anyways,
Oh,
so he's basically got nowhere to go, right?
yes, he has nowhere to go, and I'm curious as where did he live before? Like,
There's actually like a place that the I forgot what it's called.
I know, but I'm talking about before he got voted in.
Oh, that's a great
with
question.
Trump. That's what I'm saying. Is like that said. I can't remember where it said. It was either Colbert or some other source, but it said that he like hadn't owned a house in years, and it was like, so you've been living in apartment complexes while you were. What was Mike Pence before?
He was a
congressperson?
senator,
A senator. Oh my gosh.
governor. I don't know what the difference between a governor and a senator is.
A governor is like, it's the governor of the state. A senator is somebody that represents you in Congress.
Yeah, he was
And-
that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he was a senator for Indiana in Congress.
I think he was that.
In the
Let's-
Senate.
let's-
He was
I'm
in the
pretty
Senate. Yeah, okay. So he was a senator. Wait, was he a senator? Let's see. Mike Pence. Was he a senator? Show everybody how uninvolved we are in politics. Oh, no. He was the 50th governor of Indiana.
I will shut the fuck up forever now.
No, I didn't know. Look at that. You know. Look at
Yeah,
that.
but
He's a
wasn't he
happy
also
guy.
a senator? I feel like he was he ever a senator?
It says Michael Richard Pence is an American politician who served as the 48th Vice President of the United States from 2017 to 2021.
And star of Borat 2.
That's right. A member of the Republican Party, he was the 50th governor of Indiana from 2013 to 2017. Pence was also a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from 2001
Is that Senate?
to... No, that's congressperson, so he was in the House.
Yeah,
House
I've
Rep.
definitely seen that before.
Yeah, he was in the House of Representatives from 2001 to 2013. And he represented 2 different districts.
So where's this guy been living, basically, is what we got to figure out.
Well, I don't know.
He was probably moving around a lot, right? Like,
Wow.
probably moving to Washington, probably moving to...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Indiana.
Yeah, like where was he didn't have a house? Like was he living in a nice apartment? He's living
It's definitely a way to dodge taxes or some shit.
maybe.
So, well, I don't own property.
He just slept in Trump Tower, maybe. Hang on.
It's possible.
Mike
too,
Pence
beforehand.
house beef okay. He's staying with family and will look man.
Can you imagine, like, you are Mike Pence's, like, closest relative. You just have a regular-sized house, and now the fucking Secret Service have to stay there.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't...
Well, they were making jokes about that. They were saying like he's like going to people's houses, and that he'll like knock on their door, and they open. And it's like, hey man, I'm in a tough spot right now. My wife here and my mother, because apparently he's like loves his mother and shit. And I got 3 servicemen with me. Is there any way?
30, right? Or 3.
33. I just said
3.
3. I don't know how many people.
I
how
feel like
many
they have
s-
a team, dude.
There was I remember when, what's his name? Hannibal Buress told a joke about him being on a plane and Jimmy Carter got on. They like announced it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will have someone with us. The whatever number
What is he doing on a regular flight?
I know, yeah. That's what. Well, look, that's what he thought. I think he said it. He's like, "What the fuck is Jimmy Carter doing on this coach plane?"
On Spirit Airlines.
Yeah. But he gets on, and he said he had 4 Secret Servicemen around him. He said, "Ain't nobody trying to kill fucking Jimmy Carter.
He'll die on his own.
He'll die in like next few weeks."
Didn't he just survive cancer?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he
This
did.
If
Dude,
you
he's
wanted
a
to kill
tough
him, just
guy.
let him.
Dude, he's outlived Reagan and Bush. HW.
That's kind of what I was trying to talk to you about, dude. The people who live the longest are not always the people who are the healthiest.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I think it's just genes, man. You're talking about the cigarette thing.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
like an article basically about how centurions, I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyone who's lived a century, the percentage of people,
Centaurs.
centaurs, let's call them that. The percentage of centaurs, this should all be a wrap. The percentage of centaurs that smoke is really high because people back then used to smoke all the time. So it's like, you know, if you reached 100, chances are you're from a culture that smoke, you
A
know,
lot of cigarettes.
cigarettes.
Well, like, I think it's just genes, man. Some people just got genes.
That's
that
what
can
the article
fight
says,
against
yeah.
that shit. Yeah.
It's really, that's what it all boils
I
down
mean,
to.
it's like COVID. It's like there's people
True.
that say like, "Oh, COVID is killing people," which it is, and it's definitely like dangerous to
Mhm.
try to pass around. But like, there's some people that's like prepared for it, like or not prepared, but you know what I'm saying, like their genes can handle it better than other people's, or their
For sure.
blood type or whatever it is. I mean, it's just simple as that. Same with like a cold. I think like colds affect everybody kind of differently too, you know,
Mhm.
or like the flu, or I don't know, not as completely different as I'm sorry, coronavirus is definitely like the strangest as far as like
It's still new. We don't really know.
yeah, like what's going on.
Yeah.
I talked to my grandma today, and she was talking about, how for her it's like her breathing is kind of
She has
It's
it,
kind of hard. Or she had it. She had it.
and it
a
hasn't
few
been the
years-
same.
Yeah.
She a smoker? Was a smoker?
No, but my grandfather was, and it's crazy. He smoked for a long time, and he got cancer, and he died. So his genes were not smoking ready. But when she was with him all those years, they were together for 50 something or 40 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And when he died in 2003, 16 years later, so that would have been 2019. Yeah. But it wasn't 2019. It was 2017 or something like that.
Okay.
Anyways, years
Who
later.
knows time nowadays with 2020? Just fucked up my
Yeah.
schedule. Like I don't know what any.
Well, I'm going off what she said because she was telling me a story about one time. The doctor told her, because she had bronchitis real bad a few years ago, and she was talking about how the doctor told her that, or asked her if she was a smoker,
Mhm.
and she was like, "No, I have never smoked a cigarette in my life." She said, "Do you have anybody that smoked in your family?" And she said, "My husband smoked for years, but he died in 2003."
Oh, she was just breathing in all those.
Yeah,
fumes.
and he said, well, the damage was done
Yeah.
then. He said the damage was done, you just living around them. So
Mhm.
when she had bronchitis, it lasted like a year and a half of just like her on a breathing machine and all this kind of stuff. So when COVID hit, and this was like 2017 or 16 or something like that,
Mhm.
when COVID hit, we were like, yo, grandma, first off, just because she's elderly, she doesn't need to be around people with COVID. But they're like, but with her breathing problems, there's no way she could survive this, you know? And it was safe to think that because it's like, hey, I mean,
And she did though.
she did survive. Yeah, she did. She got it. It made her real sick. And I think that she was talking about.
It was really bad.
What's that?
It was really bad.
It didn't. She went to a hospital. So
She needed to be on a machine.
Yeah, I think so. But
That's, that's serious.
Yeah,
man.
no. It was serious because she said it was really tough walking around and like she felt really, really bad. And they took her to the hospital and they gave her a plasma transfusion,
Wow.
which is not a blood. I thought when she told me at first, she was like, "I think it was a blood transfusion." I was like, "A blood transfusion, Grandma? They didn't do that." She said, "No, you're right. It's plasma." So it's like some kind of mixture that I
That's
think
in your
she-
blood. Plasma.
Yeah, but they didn't like take all the blood out or
Yeah.
anything. So she had to do that, and when she did that, she said that it felt a little bit better a few days later. But the worst one out of my family to get it was my uncle, and he was in the hospital for like a month. And actually, like a few days ago, he got a fever again. So like he was out of the hospital, moving around the house, trying to get ready to go back to work, and then he caught a fever over the last weekend, and so he's been at the house again this week, I think is what she said. But like it's just it's doing everybody differently, and I've talked to people that talk about
I got no one in my family that's got maybe the genes. That's how I knock on whatever this thing
this
is. Pillow.
It's brown enough to be wood. Why not?
Knock on morning wood. Punch
That's
yourself.
wood. The guitar. There you go.
There we go.
But
Us Moskowitzes, we have the worst stomachs. Everything gives us diarrhea, but COVID, we're fine.
really.
Yeah. It's a Jew thing, I think.
Well, like I haven't got it yet. Luckily,
Diarrhea?
so- never. Just thrown up everything all my life. Every time I got sick, never could shit it out. I just threw it up.
We're not going to get into the story that you
yeah.
told me the other night right now because we don't
I
have
have a shit
time.
story. Oh,
Did I
yeah.
just unplug my mic?
No, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good. You're good.
Do you
I
want
will
it?
tell.
Do you
I can
want
tell
to
that. Yes. Well, I think
We don't have
not
to.
now. Not now. I know GameStop.
Oh, do you
Mike
want it to-
Pence.
do you
We can
want
talk
it?
about it.
Do
We
you-
can talk about it. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my grandma. Oh, my uncle. My uncle has been having a hard time with it, and like, there's been other people that like have breathing problems. Some people can't taste and smell, and it's been
Mhm.
like months later. Some people. Oh, my grandmother told me this that she went to the doctor recently.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor told her, it's actually my family physician I grew up with, Dr. Frank. He told her that according to a lot of journals that he's been reading, a lot of people are getting a lot of problems like weeks later or months later.
Shit.
Heart disease, of course, like the breathing and the taste and smell. But there's like a bunch of cases of people like, recovering afterwards, but then a few weeks later something bad's happening. A lot of heart disease, according to some of those journals that he reads. So that's, to me, like something that is really important to pay attention to. I guess that was my point. What were we kind of talking about? We can talk about that shit.
Yeah, did you hear? What did you hear about GameStop? Do you want me to explain it to you?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. Explain it.
Okay, cool. So, where to begin? So, apparently games nowadays can be downloaded. So, that's been like the struggle of the gaming industry. It's kind of going through what the music industry went through a little while ago. So.
Sucks, doesn't it?
I wonder what they're gonna. Are you guys gonna have Spotify gaming things? I don't know. But anyways, so all these like major hedge funds decided to dump their GameStop stock because they were like, this isn't worth anything anymore, and gamers who are all like this Reddit group, which I guess is a very tight-knit community. We're all like, no, we love GameStop.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear better?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we love GameStop because gamers like are passionate about the company. So they were just like, let's all fucking just when these hedge funds dump the stocks, they're actually betting on the other sides to win. Basically, it's literally like a bet. You bet. There's like teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you short a stock, that's what that's called. It's like you're betting for the other side. So as soon as that happened, all these Reddit people were like, fuck it, let's increase the value of this stock by just everybody buy stock in this company right now. And so it started looking on paper like those stocks were doing really good, even though the company hasn't done anything to change. It's just like their fans or audience are just really passionate about it, and they also kind of wanted to fuck over these hedge funds. So all these hedge funds now basically overnight are like in debt billions of dollars because they like started betting for the other side. You get what I'm saying? And even though the company's not even worth any more money, like it hasn't done anything.
It threw them off because all those people were buying. Damn. So like 19-year-old Redditors were like helping out GameStop, essentially.
It's a mixture of helping out GameStop and then also people wanting to fuck over hedge funds.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's some people who are like, this is a way to make millions. I don't know how, but like everyone's got their own. And there's people probably being scammed into buying it.
Yeah.
GameStop was at like $3 the beginning of the year or some shit like that, or last year, and now it's at like thousands of dollars a share. Yeah, let me see how much GameStop's share. Well, actually, now it's probably gone down. I think, but when it was
when they were doing it, was it last night or?
It's been 5 days, I think, of this shit or something.
Damn, I thought it was like all one night.
Or 4 days.
Was like, all right, guys, time's now.
No, I've been hearing about it because then Elon Musk started like tweeting about it or like pushing it out, and I feel like he was like on the side of the Redditors. Of course he is.
Of course, yeah. The ultimate nerd.
But to me, it's crazy that like these it's like the first time in history that like we've been able to kind of democratize the stock market in a way that like now the hedge funds aren't in control. You can literally get a group of people to kind of change the game. Like I think it's gonna start influencing different things now.
Different Reddit groups, pages.
Different types of hedge funds.
Yeah.
Like these new types of things are gonna start coming out now. We're gonna start seeing like Reddit hedge funds and shit, which will probably. I wonder what's gonna happen to GameStop because they haven't improved their product. Like So is this a bubble that bursts at some point, or is this just like I don't know. I don't know anything about. I really don't know anything about stock.
Yeah, I don't either.
I have no money in the stock market. I don't know anything. It's just an entertaining story to watch trolls beat hedge funds.
Yeah. I learned what a hedge fund was today. So
It's basically a scam.
yeah.
It's you take rich people's money and you say, I'll invest your money in this, and it's like a bunch of people investing in the stock market together, a bunch of rich people investing in the stock market. So it's not a scam in the sense that it's Madoff, Bernie Madoff, that Ponzi scheme, the biggest. Oh, you don't know about this? 2008, Bernie Madoff, one of the largest Ponzi schemes in the history of the world. He was a hedge fund, and all these people were like, "Oh, he has an amazing return. You give him the money," and they weren't asking questions because he was just a friend of theirs. He was a rich friend. Ended up, it was all a scam because they're not scams if you look at it, if you know what you're doing. But a lot of people just put their money into hedge funds because they go like Lehman Brothers. That's a big name. I'll do that, and then it ends up being what we ended up finding out in 2008 was a lot of these companies were Ponzi schemes. Just taking your money, keeping it, and then when it came time to pay back, borrowing from someone else, saying, "Oh, we're going to invest your money."
Yeah. But did they don't they get their money back at some points?
No. If the thing if the Ponzi scheme collapses.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
In a real hedge fund, you get your money back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's safer because you're investing your money with other rich people who you're like, oh, he's, he knows what he's doing, kind of situation.
Yeah. Shit, man. I'm completely uneducated about it, and I understand.
I don't. That's the thing is this is what they should be teaching us in school, not fucking Catcher in the Rye. I
wouldn't say that.
I love the Catcher in the Rye and shit like that. But come on, they don't teach you how to interview. They don't teach you how to do taxes. They don't teach you where to invest your money. For the first time in my life, I have money, and I have no idea what to do with it. And everyone's like, you can't just keep it in a savings account because the value doesn't go up in inflation. And then, have you heard about this?
No.
If you keep it in a savings account and then inflation will keep going, and your money won't grow. So your money will stay there, but what's worth $1,000 today in 10 years from now is not the same.
$1,000,
yeah.
Well, I think it's just it depends how long you save. I think of saving account as I'm saving to buy something like a house or a car.
Yeah, that's where I think I'm at right now. I think that's the move.
The house or the car?
Save up for a house or something.
Yeah, that's for me and Leah. This is a house.
You guys don't own it?
No.
Would you buy that house?
I would, but I don't
it's
think
convenient.
She's ready. Yeah.
It's very.
Yeah.
You're the way to
I'm very.
You're such a dude. Content.
Precisely.
You have a nice house, though. I like your house.
Oh, thanks. I like it too. It's just I like just
in the
small. I don't mind that. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
That will be a nice neighborhood in 5 years. Anywhere, just being here is.
Yeah, we get along with our neighbors. We like it. It's
more than I can say.
Yeah, fuck that guy. If he sees this, well, you did it to yourself. Are we just gonna fucking go off all this stuff? Mike Pence, GameStop, music. So we have a new idea that we decided to take. If you made it this far, perhaps you are now lucky enough to hear of band or artist recommendations from yours truly and Micah. Or Micah and yours truly. Let's say it like that.
Do you have a guilty pleasure that you listen to? Do you believe in guilty pleasures?
Yes, I do. And actually, no, I would just say I'm not very guilty of it, but it's probably a pop artist, a huge pop artist. But I'm not gonna recommend it. But I mean, I listen Taylor Swift and Cardi B, Post Malone. I like all that shit.
Yeah, that's not a guilty pleasure to me.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not Cardi B, but I know you like Creed.
Oh, I'm not guilty. Nickelback too.
You like Nickelback?
Hell yeah.
You like Nickelback?
I do. Well, the thing is for me, I appreciate it all. Like I appreciate everything. I find room to like.
I'm sure there's
anything.
good Nickelback songs. The
Mhm.
songs that I do know from them, I'm not particularly big on.
When I was in middle school, man, when that All the Wrong Reasons came out, or All the Right Reasons, right or wrong, I don't know. The one with Photograph on there,
Oh, okay.
dude.
Cool.
It was badass to me. I love that album. And like
Was it like rock to you, or was it
Yeah,
pop?
no, it was rock.
Yeah.
Like that's how I like, cause middle school rock, like Led Zeppelin is the hardest shit you've ever heard.
Dude, I was into the Chili Peppers. I love the Chili Peppers to this day.
Or Nickelback.
But every time I put the Chili Peppers on, I'm like, what am I in fucking middle school?
Yeah.
again? Like Green Day.
Don't feel bad at all, dude. I have a really good friend. You know Brett, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Brett loves like I'll be talking to him about music. I'm like, dude, you should check this band out. You should check this singer out. He'd be like, dude, I've been really into Foo Fighters lately. I'm like, Foo Fighters? I mean, they're not bad. They're great. They're a great band.
They
and,
have
like,
good songs. They do.
They do, and like they're professional musicians and artists,
And they're
like,
good at their instruments.
They are
yes.
good, and they're
They're a little. I don't want to say formula at this point because they actually aren't, and I don't know what their new shit's still like.
yeah.
But I know that my main critique is like with bands nowadays, they're just. It's become like a predictable thing. Like you release an album, you tour. I feel like there was a time when it was like they were doing things interesting. To like bands were doing interesting things to.
Yeah. Well, for Foo Fighters, I think that they were like a harder Bee Gees. It's
Bee
like it's
Gees.
like
Interesting.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I kind of stole that. So
Really.
yeah. So my friend Brett, who's a big Foo Fighters fan, he was saying that
You would know then more.
Dave, he said that Dave Grohl said he tries to write songs like they're for the Bee Gees.
Well, the Bee Gees were kind of pop, so that would make more sense.
Yeah. So it's like lyrically they kind of are kind of pop, but at the same time like they're your radio dad rock, and it's awesome. Like it's good for what it is, and I think that everybody's got a formula. Like I have a formula how I do songs and like how I create it as far as like verse, chorus, and like honestly that's how I do most things, and I think that they do the same thing. They'll have like a bridge section and like solo or something like that.
But don't you feel like at a certain point and I don't know what the Foo Fighters are still doing, so I can't really say this, but like my critique of like a lot of the bands that I was into in high school is like, okay, I'm a name drop, which is I would say a guilty pleasure at this point. It wasn't in high school, but Kings of Leon, like there was like at a certain point you end up like when it comes to them releasing new music, they sound like an SNL skit of themselves.
Yeah.
Like they need to change shit up.
What I think it is that as the listener, like we've listened to what they've had, and then years go by, and we've heard other things, and we've
heard other things copy that.
Yeah, yeah, and like we've gotten attuned to like different sounds and different, lyrics, and like we've resonate with different artists and bands. So when they come back around and they deliver something else, it's like, oh gosh, I was into this crap, like, I mean, I don't, my initial reaction, like, cause Kings of Leon actually released 2 new songs.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Maybe one's good. I think one's good. The other one's kind of.
They're good if you were 14 again.
You think so?
Yeah, like I like Kings of Leon. As a matter of fact, I like their
first 2 albums.
Yeah, I like those
yeah.
a lot. The only way I know Kings of Leon, like, am informed about a lot of their songs is Leah. Yeah, Leah is a huge Kings of Leon fan.
We'll have to talk about this.
Oh yeah, she could do it. She could do it for literally the whole hour. And like, she turned me on to a lot of their stuff.
I've gotten tickets to see them 3 times, and 3 times they didn't show up.
Oh, that's
one time the drummer hurt his shoulder. Another time they canceled the tour because the singer
Got drunk.
You had some drunk shit, and then the other time the pigeons shat on them. So did you not hear? But in Saratoga, we had tickets to see them in Saratoga, and the night before, pigeons shat on them on stage, and they're like, "We're not coming back here."
Damn. Just gotta play through that shit.
No pun intended. Yes. Anyways,
Totally intended.
you know Kings of Leon through Leah.
Yes. Yeah, I just think like when I heard like Kings of Leon in high school or middle school, I think it was Sex on Fire. I think it was came out. When did that come out? Like
that
05
already
or
was
something?
when they started to become a caricature of
Yeah.
themselves.
Well, like for
That was
me
the
at that
first
time,
step.
yeah. But for me at that time, like I didn't care about that shit. I was like, it's, rock music, and I'm
Yeah.
here to consume it. So
White people doing white people things.
yeah, that's it. That's it. But yeah, like I liked it at that time, and I like it resonated with me. But now, years later, and I hear a Kings of Leon song that's new, and it's like really similar to
Dude,
what they've done before,
Sex
a
on
little
Fire.
bit different. Yeah, it's like, oh, I've already went through like this, and like it's not as
Like, I want to see them do an electronic album or like a
okay.
jazz.
So you want something like okay?
I want to see bands evolve.
Yeah. Okay.
And it
gotcha.
still sounds like Kings of Leon, but it's like a new thing.
I agree with that. I like the idea of like a band evolving. But it is nice. Like for instance, like Metallica. Like when Metallica had the '80s go through and they did all those thrash albums, they were fucking awesome. And then the '90s come around and they experiment with all this like radio rock shit.
Did you hear the one with Lou Reed?
I did.
Yeah, apparently that's like hated.
It's so bad, it's
Is
great.
it really?
That's how I think of it.
Lulu, it's called?
Yeah, Lulu. I think of that album as it. You can't listen to it to expect like it's gonna blow your mind or like oh it's so cool or anything, but when you listen to it, you need to think of it. Think of it like watching The Room or watching some movie
so it's actually bad. Like
yes,
okay.
it's bad.
It's not like people these legends jamming and you could just appreciate that they're enjoying each other's company. It's more like, what the fuck did you guys think?
Yeah. Well, according to like a lot of interviews, I think that they actually really enjoyed like working with Lou Reed, and Lou Reed
Yeah, because they
enjoyed-
were both fans of each other. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. So they actually think of that album in high regard as far as like the time that they had,
Yeah.
and like I think that they enjoy the music, but it is like hard to listen to. But as a as a consumer of just music and to expect like something that resonates with you, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Is there a reason it's hard to listen to?
Yeah, it's Lou Reed's voice and Metallica's music.
Oh, it just doesn't get
That's it. It's literally
It makes
like
no sense.
it doesn't make sense. It's like it's like Martin Luther King with polka music in the background. It's just like Martin Luther King is amazing and polka is amazing.
Great artist, Martin Luther King.
Yeah. It really is just like they're great things, but two things, it doesn't.
What's a good mid to late career album you could think of from an art? I feel like you got the Prince ones down.
Yeah, Prince did a lot of great work as far as the 90s and early 2000s. Musicology, I think
Is that one of his?
Yeah, it's one of his
Yeah.
2004 or something like that. There's a lot of good songs on there, but
Dude, Miles Davis has like an album called Bebop, I think, or I'm gonna find out the exact name, and it's got like rappers on it that came out in like the late '80s,
Whoa.
early '90s.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's so crazy to me that like Miles Davis was around at that time. I
he
saw a
was
video.
gonna do something with Hendrix before Hendrix
Really?
died. Yeah,
Man, that's cool.
that would have been epic.
Oh, I don't necessarily have a guilty pleasure, but if I had to think of a guilty pleasure as far as
Doo-Bop. It's called, and it came out in '92.
Doo-Bop.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, a guilty pleasure. Probably those three I just named, and the songs in particular that I really like. I like that Cardi B song about money.
What's it called? Money?
It's called Money. And to me, that song is, as far as musically, it's fucking metal. And I'll tell you why. First, it's a piano that starts. It's like, dun, dun, dun. And you cannot tell me that those notes, like just dun, 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 don't tell me that
You're
a metal
saying, like-
band could not, like,
You're saying that you could shred on it if you needed to.
yeah, no, well,
She basically shreds, but that's what her rapping is.
yeah. Essentially, yeah. Like the music is heavy. Like it's got like a angry face type of sound. Like
think of like industrial, like what's his name? Go on.
it's just not. It's not distorted guitars and like double bass drum, but it's shit. You know, like it's
Death Grips. Thank you. That's what I was.
Oh yeah, no. Well, it's not. Death Grips is like
Next
wild,
level
yeah,
shit.
experimental. Like yeah, Trent Reznor on 12 ounces of cocaine. I don't know how to measure cocaine.
It's a great call. I was like, what the fuck?
I guess that's a lot. I don't know.
I don't even know what.
An 8 ball of cocaine. I know that's a lot. Right?
Is that a lot? I don't know.
I think that's
I
like.
don't know.
I think that's literally like a
Jews
ball,
don't
like a
do
bag.
cocaine because it's really expensive.
Well, I don't do cocaine just because I heard it's terrible for your life, and plus, yes, I'm broke as well. But that song is really metal. That Money song, and I would love to discuss that with anybody or argue with anybody because I'm like, dude,
gonna
there are
listen to it
literally
after
some
this.
like the key of the song, like the song. I think it's like, is Phrygian dominant or something like that, where it's like the Jewish sounding scale.
Really?
Like dun, 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 dun. Like it's in that key. Like you could do that Jewish klezmer scale probably in that song, and like it's just it's a metal song, and klezmer's metal too. So
It could, yeah. I
It's a-
think klezmer's bluegrass more than anything.
bluegrass.
I want to show you some shit after that. Oh god, I feel like we should look at it.
I know we
on
should
the
make
pod-
this whole thing next time a music podcast.
A music one?
because we're good at that shit.
Yeah, we'll do
and
that.
stop giving people our opinions.
No, I think we
Or
get,
our
we get some good
political
Yeah,
opinions, yeah.
true.
But look,
I kind of agree with that actually.
yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, what the fuck are we talking about for like
I know
40 minutes?
Mike
and now-
Pence. Let's look up People Magazine. Mike Pence. Stupid.
What do we know?
What do
We
we
know
yeah.
music.
yeah.
What do we do all day, every day?
Oh yeah, that beautiful, beautiful thing, music.
Mike Pence, anyway.
Yeah, GameStop stocks.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a crazy
that's what
story.
we wanna talk
That's
about.
a crazy story, though.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's pretty cool. Okay, recommendation. There is a song by the band called Don Caballero, and they're called Don Cab for short. And I've been listening to this song.
Don Cap.
Don Cab.
Okay, because I had a friend who his rap name was Don Cap
Don Cab.
because his name was Kaplan was his last name. Anyways,
Oh, cute.
exactly.
Yeah, it is cute. Don Cab. Don Cab. Blah, 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 blah.
Go on.
Okay. Don Caballero.
Uh-oh.
That's us. That's us saying
Finish this and
Jack.
then,
Yeah. Jack and Micah, wrap it up. Okay.
Peace.
Don Cab has a song. Don Caballero has a song called
That.
it just left my mind, but I've been listening to it a lot because it's really cool as a song. It's a math rock song. You could say math rock, indie rock.
Prague.
Prague. Yeah, well, when you say Prague, I think like, Dream Theater, and it's just not. It's like a punk rock type of math. It's like proggy punk rock. So think of it as that. There's no singer. Okay, palm trees in the feckin' Bahamas, and feckin' is Fecking. Palm trees in the fecking Bahamas. And it's a cool song because it's groovy, it's mathy. But there's
we
a
should be playing it, right?
yeah, well, sure.
Do we have
But let me show you this. What's cool about this song is hopefully we don't get sued by something like this because I
I
don't
think
want
you're
to
allowed
get
to do reaction videos, right? Isn't that a thing?
yeah, but like, I don't think that we can hear the music for it.
No, I watch like reaction videos of people like I like
But
to
they
watch.
probably get like the rights.
I don't know. I like to watch
Release
videos of black people listening to white music and like seeing what they like. Black people hearing Led Zeppelin for the first time.
Yeah.
Or like I also like to see old white people listening to rap music. Like I
Oh,
like to
yeah.
see that shit.
Yeah. I like that too. But with this song, there's a section. Well, they'll probably hear that. There's a section on here. I want you to tell me what this sounds
Sounds
like.
60s, like it's from the 60s.
Yeah,
or 70s.
almost. But look. Tell me what this sounds like. What does that sound like?
What does it sound like?
Do you remember?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I was thinking of like a disco song, but I didn't like want to say that.
Dude, so like when I first heard this, I thought that. And it's just a good song. It's a cool song to listen to all the way through. But there is now a video that somebody edited where they fucking did that. You should check out this band anyways.
I like a good mashup
Yeah. Oh yeah.
too. Yeah.
Don Caballero. And they have an album called American Don. I highly recommend you check out that.
We'll start fading out.
Yeah. Well, you got to give a recommendation.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Oh. Let me see what I got on my more recent.
That's so cool.
I feel like we should put on the Doo-Bop song with Miles Davis.
Yeah.
Or the song's called Blow, one of the songs.
Hell yeah.
So you can get. Cause
Oh, I forget you don't have headphones on, so it like doesn't.
yeah.
Sorry.
I think this is it. I think it doesn't start till like
Hell yeah. It's got that fucking like
Fresh Prince vibes.
yeah. I was gonna say like Bobby Brown kind of. Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend this album, Doo-Bop by Miles Davis.
Hell yeah. Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we're gonna let off with. Next time, let's just do a music podcast. We'll
Huh?
just fucking talk about music.
Let's make it happen.
All right, guys. Probably an echo chamber. That's what you just watched. Y'all have a good one. Peace out. What's going on, y'all? This is Jack. I'm sitting here asking y'all, please go ahead and like and subscribe this video. We really appreciate it. And if you want, you can share it anywhere you want. And that would be appreciated too. Yeah, y'all enjoy the show.